The fishermen of Blackwater Bay had rules. Never go on a moonless night, never whistle on the water, and never, ever answer a song you didn't start. They claimed a siren lived in the deep trench beyond the bay, older than the village itself. She was not the shimmering, storybook mermaid of children's songs. She was pale as bone, her long hair dark as oil, her eyes like the spaces between stars. But she was beautiful, and she was hungry. Jonas was new to the village, the kind of young man who thought old superstitions were nothing but bait to scare fools. One windless evening, after the boats came in, he overheard the older men telling stories by the pier. A man gone missing in '78, a trawler found adrift with claw marks on the hull, and the worst, an entire crew, last seen laughing on deck, found the next morning with their eyes wide open, mouths frozen mid-breath. Jonas grinned. Fairy tales. The sea's dangerous. That's all. Old Tom, the net mender, looked at him for a long time and said only, "Danger has a shape, boy. You just haven't seen hers yet." That night, Jonas took a small skiff and rowed out past the reef. The water was so still it felt wrong. No wind, no waves, just the faint creak of wood under his feet. Then it came, a humming, so soft at first he thought it might be in his head. Then it rose, weaving into a melody that tugged at his ribs, at his mind. It wasn't like hearing a song, it was like remembering it. The water below shimmered faintly, and there she was. Her skin glowed faintly in the dark, hair floating like tendrils of shadow. She tilted her head, and Jonas felt the world fall away. He leaned over the side without thinking. Her hand rose from the deep, pale and cold, nails like chipped shells. She touched his wrist, and his breath caught not from fear, but from the ache of wanting to follow her under. Her black eyes widened, and her smile was both tender and terrible. Jonas felt the pull, and then he remembered Tom's words. "Danger has a shape," he whispered. "I'm not yours," and pulled back. The siren froze. No one had ever said no before. Something in her gaze changed, not hunger, but something older. She slid her hand from his wrist and, instead of dragging him under, she pushed the skiff gently back toward the shore. The humming softened, fading into the sigh of the tide. At dawn, Jonas sat on the pier, the boat beside him. No one believed he had seen her. Tom only gave a slow nod. From that day on, no one went missing in Blackwater Bay. The fishermen still heard her song on still nights, but always far out, never near. Jonas sometimes walked to the edge of the water, listening. He never rowed out again, but when the melody drifted across the bay, it no longer sounded like hunger. It sounded like a promise kept.